People around the country are watching for a vote on what would be the strictest abortion ban in the country, set for next week. And it's all going down in Alabama. The state Senate there is set to vote on a bill that would effectively ban most abortions at every stage of pregnancy. This was the front page of the paper down there. It would make performing the procedure a felony, punishment up to 99 years in prison. It's not happening without a fight. We're about to play you what went down on the state Senate floor yesterday when some Republicans tried to really quickly move to pull an amendment from the bill that would have allowed exceptions in cases of rape or incest. That didn't go over well with some Democrats. Watch this.
There was no motion.
There was a motion. He made a motion.
He didn't even make a motion, Mr. President.
Hold on, excuse me.
He did not make a motion.
He made a motion to table.
He did not make a motion.
Everybody eventually decided to table the vote until Tuesday, but even Democrats are conceding it's probably going to pass. Keep in mind, this is not only happening in Alabama. This week, Georgia became the fourth state just this year to enact a so-called heartbeat bill, which essentially bans abortions after 6 weeks. It's all part of a bigger effort led by Republicans with the goal to get to the Supreme Court. That way, the justices there would have to reconsider and possibly overturn Roe versus Wade. One of the lawmakers who is on the Senate floor is joining me now, Democratic State Senator Vivian Davis-Figures. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
You said on the Senate floor that you believe this bill is ultimately going to pass anyway. So if that happens on Tuesday, what's the next step?
Well, first of all, let me say that the vote was not tabled. If it was tabled, we wouldn't be dealing with it at all again. It was carried over. The bill was carried over until we get back on Tuesday.
Thank you for that clarification. So postponed until Tuesday. It was supposed to go down. Now it's postponed.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So
well,
what
the
is
next thing is that our Senate is made up of 27 white male Republicans and 8 Democrats, of which 4 of those are 4 African-American women. So, yes, they're going to get their way. And what they did on yesterday was not a surprise. It's happened before. And although they have the numbers to do what they want to do, they always feel the need to force and cram something down our throats. So, of course, I went to the microphone to let the lieutenant governor know that we had made the request. Senator Singleton had asked very, very politely, if you will. He had asked and was very clear about saying every vote that we will take on this bill, we want a long roll call vote. In the past, that's been honored. Of course, Lieutenant Governor Ainsworth is a new lieutenant governor presiding over the Senate, but that's the way it happened.
Republican governor, your governor there, has not said whether she is going to sign this bill. Do you have reason to believe she will or will not? What's your sense of it?
The way it's been going in Alabama since we received a supermajority Republican administration and legislature, whatever the Republican agenda is, everybody else falls in line to do what needs to be done. That's why they called for a voice vote on stripping that amendment from the bill, because some of their own members do not feel comfortable with not having that amendment about rape and incest to be a part of the exception in that bill.
This all seems headed to a
so
court
I have no
fight
doubt. I have no doubt that she might sign it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is going to head to a court fight. And we've talked about this, and I know we have a bit of a delay in our earpieces here, so bear with me. But you do have other states enacting these so-called heartbeat bills like we talked about. Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Ohio. It seems like the strategy is, and it's explicit in some cases, is to get this to the Supreme Court. That seems to be what some of these advocates would like to see. How do Democrats stop that, if at all, or where do you go from here?
Well, I'm not sure that we can stop it with the numbers. I mean, you know, when you have the votes, you have the votes. One way we can stop this down the line is to make sure that we get people out to vote and elect more Democrats across this country, because this is clearly a Republican agenda. It's a hot-button issue that they use for politics to get them elected and reelected. And it's a shame because the state of Alabama doesn't even have enough money to adequately fund public education. They haven't given our retired educators a COLA since 2007, but yet they are going to pass a bill knowing that it could potentially end up in court to cost the state millions of dollars, which we really don't have.
Alabama State Senator Vivian Davis-Figures, thank you for joining us after what I know is a contentious day for you on the state Senate floor. We'll be checking back for an update next week. Thanks.